This is how to buy a house in 2023. The first step is you have to get all of your finances in order, and there's going to be a couple different things that you need to have all sorted out. The first is going to be your down payment. You need to know how much you need to have saved for your down payment so you can actually buy the house. Now, there are some scenarios where you will not need a down payment, such as if you're a VA getting a VA loan, if you're looking to buy a home where a USDA loan would qualify, meaning you would also have 0% down payment, or if you're in a specialty profession, like say you're a physician, you can also get a loan with 0% down. But if that is not you and you need to have a down payment, you're typically going to have either a 3% or a 3.5% minimum down payment. And that's gonna depend on which type of loan that you get, either conventional or FHA loan. And the type of loan that you get is going to largely be dependent upon your credit score. If you have a credit score between 580 to 620, you're most likely going to qualify for an FHA loan, which has a minimum of a 3.5% down payment. But if your credit score is a bit better at say 620 plus, you're going to qualify typically for a conventional loan. And in that case, you only need a 3% down payment, though some lenders will require 5%. But 3% is pretty common. Now, you're also gonna have to be prepared for closing costs because your down payment isn't the only thing you have to pay when buying a house. Closing costs are fees to the title company, fees to the lending company, so that way you can get the loan, and that way the title company can make sure you have a clear title, basically that you actually have ownership of the home, and they also have their attorneys check all of the paperwork and make sure everything is good to go. And I typically estimate 1 to 2% for your closing costs when you buy a house. And so that means if you're estimating 2% for closing costs and 3% for your down payment, you need to have about 5% of the home's value ready to go in cash. So if you're looking to buy, say, a $500,000 home, having $25,000 is a good starting point. Obviously, if you can have more money, that's even better, because chances are you're gonna buy the house and you're gonna want a new couch and maybe a new TV or maybe a new grill for the patio outside. And so having a bit of extra money laying around certainly won't hurt. And now that you have all of these numbers sorted out and ready to go, you're going to need to meet with a lender and get pre-approved, meaning they're going to take a look at your finances. You're going to provide bank statements, W-2s or tax returns, and pay stubs showing that you are actually making money. That way they can verify it and then issue you a pre-approval letter showing that you can actually pay for, say, a $500,000, $750,000, $1 million house, whatever it's gonna be in your situation. Now that you're all pre-approved, letter in hand, ready to go shopping, you're gonna start by hiring a real estate agent. And you want to hire one that can walk you through the process step by step, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. And also you wanna find an agent that is actually involved in the market, knows what they're doing, knows the market that they're working in, and can provide you excellent value. Then you're gonna start by just looking at houses online. You're gonna look at hundreds of houses online way easier than you could look at hundreds in person. You're going to want to narrow down your top 5 houses and then go look at each of those. And the ones that you like the most, you're gonna start writing offers on. And once you get an offer accepted, you're going to start with what's called an option period, which we have here in Texas. In other states, it's called a due diligence period. Now, your option period or your option window is when you're going to schedule your inspection for your home. An inspection is gonna cost somewhere around $500. They're going to go through everything on that property with a fine-tooth comb. They're gonna take 2 or 3 hours, and they're gonna give you a big 40 to 50 page long report with everything that is wrong with the house. Now, I put those in air quotes because they're going to flag some things on the house that may or may not be actually wrong with the house and may not actually matter in terms of the transaction and moving forward buying the house. And I say that because I've seen some inspectors flag things like a loose doorknob or squeaky door hinges, but the main things you're really wanting to be concerned about are the big ticket items: the foundation, the roof, the HVAC, the water heater. You want to make sure all of those expensive items are taken care of and in good condition before moving forward. If you do find some things that need to be taken care of before you feel comfortable purchasing the home, you can renegotiate with the sellers and come to some sort of a consensus and move forward. Or you can back out, you lose the money that you spent on the inspection and the money that you spent to get your option period, which is usually just a couple $100, and then you can back out and get your earnest money back. But assuming that you can come to an agreement, you're going to move forward and you're gonna get an appraisal on the home. That appraisal typically costs about $750, and you have to have this appraisal when getting a loan in most cases, because the lender wants to make sure if you're paying $700,000 for the home that it's actually worth $700,000 and not $500,000. They want to make sure they're making a good investment and that the property that they're loaning you money for is actually worth what you're paying for. Once you get through that appraisal, you're going to continue working with the lender, getting them all kinds of documents to prove your income and to get final loan approval. Once you get final loan approval, you're going to have one last walkthrough on the house, make sure that everything's in good shape, check any repairs that you negotiated, and then just a couple days later, you're going to go to the title company, sign all of the documents. This is termed as closing on the house, and then you're going to be able to move into the house, collect the keys, and voila, now you're a homeowner. Welcome to 2023. If you have any questions or need to find a home here in DFW, go ahead and send me an email.